sprinted up. Yeah, that was all of us. We sprinted up, and then, like, I remember people around us sort of noticed what we were doing, but not the couple themselves.
It was an Asian couple. I do remember that. And they had set the timer on the stand.
We saw the tripod, dude. We saw the tripod, and, like, as soon as we saw him push the button and then run to get into the picture, it was like, we didn't have to say a word. All of us just started speed walking to ruin that picture. But then there was another one while we were, I think it was you and me, and we were waiting for Josh to get to the Louvre. We were sitting in front of like the big fountains that are outside of the Louvre, and these like American girls were trying to set up a picture like on a chair. Was that either one of you? And we
I remember we did a lot.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, continue.
Okay, we got a few pictures of Paris here. That back.
How did we decide on Hotel Luna Park? Just because of the picture of the Ferris wheel? That was the only...
It was super cheap, and Paris was expensive.
Okay.
I know that I picked it out. There's this night.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. The Champs-Élysées, and then some Notre Dame pictures.
Nice.
Did you guys go back to Notre Dame with me? Because that was the day that we were separate, right? Like, but then I went there, but I can't remember if anyone came back with me or if I just did that. We spent 2 days kind of apart.
I don't think we went back.
I guess we must have done that separate. Yeah.
Josh was the guy that inspired your back heel kick towards kids. That was him.
Wait, is that Roxy climbing up a light post?
No, that was the guy that was juggling a soccer ball, like while he was on a light.
Performer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the guy who I mimicked and kicked the little kid in the face.
Oh, that's cute.
And then I have a few pictures from that night.
Oh.
This is the walk. I'm wearing Eugenio's shoes. You can't see it. Eugenio, you didn't wear shoes, right?
Ben,
I don't know, dude.
Ben,
Probably not.
Ben couldn't find his shoes, so Eugenio said, "Here, take mine."
Yeah.
Sounds right.
Okay, now we got Bruges.
I
love Bruges.
Yeah, the beer tour was a highlight for sure.
That was the Halfman Brewery.
Yeah.
And that was the first beer that Josh actually liked, right? You went back first, so you finished yours before we did and went back to get another one.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, all of us had to, like, we all just looked at each other like, wait a second, what? Holy shit. Yeah, something Josh loves. I mean, alcohol-wise, I mean.
The competing fry stands.
Oh, yeah. That was
And the bell tower.
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember that was like your first stance that you took. You're like, I'm saving $2. We're like, what?
Yeah, I'm not like, that's like toothpaste volunteering to be squeezed out of a tube, you know, like it's just that spiral staircase is going to get tiny and then I'm just going to be high. Like, That's fine. I get it. I can force perspective.
I think it was mostly closed too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
By the way, I sat out of a bunch of stuff too, because I didn't go to I didn't go with you guys to the Arc at night.
Bruges Zot beer.
Yeah.
That challenge is like awesome. It was like very relaxing, especially after Paris. Like just kind of
Yes.
reset after like all the kind of craziness and how busy everything was.
And it wasn't real though. Like that's definitely what I noticed when I went back with Tom. Like I didn't really pay attention to how nobody actually lives in Bruges. Like every house that you see is like all the blinds are closed. Like it truly is just like a completely just set up town for tourists. Like it's just a very picturesque, but not real at all. You know, like everybody commutes in, and it was very peaceful though.
Yeah.
Our mom went there 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe it was even 5 years ago now. They took a side trip to Bruges and got lost and couldn't do anything. They didn't get to Halfman Brewery. They didn't get to the bell tower. but like,
What?
because all the streets they had the street names were like 30 characters long.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that.
They didn't have a map, and so they kept getting lost on those side streets. But
Oh damn.
I had a quick thing about
That's tough.
this. Remember the bakery in our neighborhood? And like the first day, that lady gave us like the shit bread, but then by like the fourth day, she like went back and got like the best like chocolate bread there was in the whole place. We're like, yes. Like,
yeah, we didn't
That's
mention how good the bakeries in Paris were. That was
Yeah.
some of the best pastries that I had on our trip, for
Yeah.
sure.
Man. That hostel was really cool. Bruges was also the that night where we just fucking lost it. Just repeating the Shrek quote. Right?
Right.
Like the yeah, Nobel. Like we just repeated yeah, Nobel for like 45 minutes laughing.
I totally forgot about that.
wasn't that the hostel where we had like our own private room, but we had to like go through somebody else's room to get to our room?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
That's
Correct.
actually where I stole my jacket in Bruges.
Yep.
I love that jacket.
You still wear it?
No, it's long gone now.
Mm.
It was a bit smaller.
Passed on to somebody else.
It was a good jacket.
You should
Yeah.
have had it framed.
They're
like,
the
a-
perfect
like a Super Bowl
size.
jersey.
I remember I made Josh go over and look what size it was before I attempted to steal it.
God.
On to Amsterdam.
That was where you guys made me for once take charge and figure out the map. I remember that. I kind of just coasted the first half of the trip, and then you made me figure out navigation. It wasn't
I
that great.
remember you were in Amsterdam. I remember Eugenio taking the map and figuring out in Amsterdam. I thought we gave you the city walking tour in Vienna.
Oh, maybe that was it. I was good at that though. I figured that
Oh
out.
yeah, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eugenio knew we had to knock out the Anne Frank house quick before we go to Bluebird Cafe, so he was like, this.
Dude,
I knew exactly where we were going.
we spent a lot of time at the Anne Frank Museum.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
That hit me. I mean, that was fucking brutal. I still remember, like, fuck, yeah. I just remember over and over and over again not understanding the size of things. Like, just being like, wait a second. I mean, I read about this. I read it was small and everything, but holy shit, like,
Well,
this is
yeah.
nuts.
And I didn't also realize like how precarious the situation actually still was. Like,
Mhm.
I don't know. It just, yeah, that was, and also it was like we had just gotten off the night train or something too, wasn't it? Or something. And so that was the first thing we did that day. And it just put, I think, the trip in a totally different perspective because up until that point we had done really like fun things and not as many historical things.
Mhm.
But
I also
I'm
really liked that it. Oh, sorry. I was just
No,
gonna
go
say
ahead.
I just liked that it wasn't a church. For like it was one of the first ones that wasn't some like, I don't know, just some structure that somebody built a long fucking time ago. Like I appreciated that there was a value for a different reason, right? Like just a totally
Yeah.
normal house and something amazing happened there.
Yeah, I remember like the walking through the tour and being like, okay, this is kind of emotional, and then like turning the corner and being like, oh, there's the bookshelf with the hidden like house, and we're gonna go in there, and this feels horrible. Like
yeah,
Mhm.
that's like that was a turning point.
yeah.
Yeah.
We shared a hostel with 20 other people in the room.
Oh,
One of them
nice.
Germans. Eugenio decided to, on his own bed, he didn't share it with anybody. He decided to ask the Germans where they were from. And then they told us, Bavaria, do you know where that is? And they said, where are you from?
Yeah.
And they go, yeah, we know. That was the end of the conversation.
That was where we had the crazy bathrooms too. Like there were like showers, like it wasn't like separated by sex at all. So I remember taking like a shower in the next like cube over from Eugenio and thinking like, wow, this is like kind of odd. Like, and then we had to share beds with each other. I remember that. That hassle thing.
That flying pig was
Flying
not good.
Yeah.
Good
We,
breakfast.
yeah. And the the stork, what do we call him? The guy?
Stork.
Wasn't he the stork?
Remember the guy who swept his unused Cocoa Puffs back into the community bowl? We're like, what are you doing? Those are soggy Cocoa Puffs.
By the way, the other flying pig is so much better. Like we picked the one that's like in the dead center of Amsterdam, so I don't, like whatever. I think we did it right, but when I went back with Tom, we went to the one of the other 3 flying pigs, and it was so nice. Like really quiet, not very far away at all, super clean. So for next time.
I think you go.
I was just going to say we also went to the Van Gogh Museum, which was amazing.
Amazing.
I was going to bring that up. That was like one of my highlights of the entire trip, was going there pretty high and just being blown away by, you can see Van Gogh's brush strokes. And that made me want to go see every Van Gogh painting that I could. So I forget where, maybe in New York, I went to he had like 2 pieces in an art gallery. And for me, it was then worth it to pay for that art gallery just to see 2 more pieces of his paintings.
Yeah.
I really like Van Gogh to this day.
Yeah.
Largely because we got to see some of his most significant work all in one place.
Yeah.
And for me also, we had a lot of downtime. We spent a fair amount of it catching up on emails and family. And we planned the rest of our trip at the Amsterdam Library. That was free, I think. A lot of park time too, and setting up the rest of our 2 weeks in Europe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that library was beautiful.
Yeah.
I remember I wanted Roxy or somebody to take a picture of me in the fountain. So I took off my shoes and pulled my jeans up a little bit. And then some kid gets in behind me, trips naked, and just starts
Butt naked. Butt naked.
And I look around, I'm the only adult in the fountain. It's just a bunch of kids, a naked kid. All right, let's get the picture. Let's get out of here.
God.
We have the canals. We did laundry that day, I think, for the first time.
Yep.
Josh, you and I hung out playing cribbage. I'm pretty sure I never won. Remember when Eugenio got the perfect ending cribbage?
No, don't.
Yep.
I remember that.
I do remember. I'll forever remember.
I think that's the only other one that I have out is somebody took a picture. We were so happy to do laundry, and I think the owner gave us the keys and told us to lock up. They were closed, but she's just you can do your laundry, just make sure you lock up on your way out, right?
Yeah, I remember that. Yep.
So that was really cool. Munich. So many good memories.
Hofbrauhaus.
Hofbrauhaus.
Right?
Yep.
Oh my God.
Hofbrauhaus.
Eating 4 pounds of sauerkraut.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So much meat.
3 of those, and 1 of those with the number 2, and then 1 number 4. All right.
I'll take 2. That's what it was. I'll take 2 of those.
It's 2 number 4s.
That was the first day that we got to Munich.
Yeah. I mean,
do that walking tour that we dipped on. I totally forgot.
Yeah. Where we found out that, I forget how long ago it was, but the competing cities would have to steal their
maypole,
the flagpole or whatever, and then in order to get it back, it's a maypole.
Yeah.
In order to get it back, that city had to throw a party for the city that captured it. I thought that was a cool story.
Yeah.
And obviously on a somber note, when we went to Dachau, we spent a lot of time in Dachau as well. And I think that was another, I don't know, that was just an experience that it was nice to be with you guys who like we all could feel vulnerable and like emotional together. And like I just appreciate that we all felt comfortable enough with each other at that point to do something like that. That was very hard on all of us, but I don't know.
Man, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was we got off the train, dropped our stuff, and that's the very first thing that we did.
It was, yeah. Yeah. Another highlight of mine was when we went to the open beer garden. And isn't that where I like chugged a glass of beer thinking it was beer and it was actually apple juice?
It was a half liter. And
That is apple juice. Oh.
You got back so fucked up to the hostel. I think I stayed and like I had to like take a shower. Like I think I might have done laundry or something while you guys did that.
That's the one you
Something
stole.
like that.
I forgot that you had taken that.
yeah,
Oh shit.
yeah. Roxy carried it the rest of the trip. It's not light.
That's right.
Why did I have to carry it?
You were the only one with a purse. And plus you were getting drunk on lemonade. Like,
That was fun.
we also saw the Olympic Stadium.
Oh, yeah.
Is that where the Glockenspiel is in
Oh,
Munich?
Yes.
That's in the like downtown center area, but in Munich, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
The second most disappointing feature in all of Europe or something. The
After
first.
the astronomical
Yeah.
clock or whatever.
Okay, that's the Hofbräu House.
That's also when we were on the train and we met those two little girls that had to share our compartment.
I was hoping you brought that up.
Oh yeah.
We made the connection when we heard them say Scheisse. And they're like, you were best friends after that.
You're like, we know that one. We know that one.
We ended up like swapping. We're giving them our Milka bars, and like they gave us some of their treats, and
Yeah.
dropped us on the mat of their teacher standing outside of our compartment. Remember that?
They waved to us when they were like leaving on the bus, right? Like they got on the bus and sometimes they're like, that's them.
I remember one of the teachers being pretty attractive, and I remember that being a thing.
Oh yeah.
But maybe, yeah,
Like
okay.
when they said, hey, are there room for 2 more in here? We're like,
Yeah,
yeah.
like specifically for you, yes.
They're like, come on down here. We're going to put 2 6-year-olds in here.
And the Hofbräu House.
Oh, my
shit.
God.
Oh my god.
I didn't see Ben in that picture for so long. It took me so long.
Oh man, yeah. Fuck. That was. God damn.
Okay, we are running a little bit short on time all of a sudden because I have a meeting in 15 minutes. So we got to get through Prague and all of Italy and Austria.
Or we got to
Okay.
get Ben to commit to some other time.
Well, we can pick this back up. We can pick it back up at 9 o'clock, your guys' time, Mountain Time. And
I should probably do some work.
Okay.
Ooh, Ben.
Try to crank it out then.
We could just do it again tomorrow. Similar, or I mean, maybe not. Doesn't have to be this early, but
Or
Like
next
it
week
before
or
work.
something, too.
You what?
Or next week.
That's true. Okay, cool. So we don't have to rush through it then.
Yeah.
Let's stop at Munich.
Prague.
Let's stop at Munich and just trace back through anything that we missed.
Okay,
We'll start off
that
with
works for
Prague.
me. I like it. All right.
What time works for people? What day next week?
Hmm.
I mean, before 8 or 8:30 my time, I'm always good in the mornings.
Yeah, same for me.
Yeah.
Mine's pretty much what we're working with right now.
Yeah,
Do we want to just do next Thursday, same time?
that's fine.
That works for me.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Tell us something funny man.
Just
You're talking to Ben, right?
we're not gonna get into Prague, but I feel like it's an important picture.
Oh God, yes.
Oh Lord.
Okay.
So many characters. This is like the cliffhanger at the end of season 1, you know, and like season 2 is going to be so good.
We should talk back through some of the people that we met in the first half of the trip.
Oh shit. Yeah, we should jot those down and bring them up next week because I feel like we brought up a few people, but I'm sure we left off a few important ones.
Boris the Blade in Lisbon.
Boris. Yeah, I do remember Boris the Blade.
Sorry to stomp on your the name that you chose for the boy, Ben, but Boris helped.
It works.
Boris and Boras if it's a girl.
Ass turd.
Ass turd. Yeah, it's like a Greek god or something. I don't know. All right.
So I guess if we're going back, I'm going to go back to Paris, where Roxy and I tried our hardest to get to the top of the Eiffel Tower, where we were planning on walking up to the first level, maybe it was even the second level, and then taking an elevator from there. But the elevator line from that platform was over an hour.
Yeah, and I remember being disappointed and you guys all saying, "Don't worry. Since you couldn't go to the top of the Eiffel Tower, we'll go on a gondola ride in Venice."
I don't think I said that.
I definitely remember people saying that. And then that didn't happen either.
Who do you remember?
If I said that, it was a lie in the moment. There's no way at any point I was going to take a gondola ride.
That's when I realized that I was on a trip with 3 boys.
It feels like Josh would have been the one to say that.
Okay. God.
That is pretty funny, though, because even now, 10 years removed, you just said a gondola ride, and I was like, why would I sit on a little tin can floating on a sewer? Like Venice is so gross. Like, Venice is the worst place on earth.
Roxy did have a lifelong dream come true, even if it was for a temporary moment, where she got proposed to under the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah.
So that was very nice.
Yeah.
My hands clasped like something weird, like
it was like a first communion.
Well, Josh has only ever done his first communion and the Street Fighter Hadouken, so it was like a mix of, or the Kamehameha and proposing.
oh my God.
That's what Josh did.
Remember I was trying to go to the bathroom by the Eiffel Tower, and the bath
Wouldn't close.
yeah
That was the worst.
I had like my pants like almost down, and the door flies open. I was like, what's going on? So then we had to find a McDonald's.
Oh fuck.
So getting back to the night train from Amsterdam to Munich, where Josh made best friends, we also had to help those women figure out how to recline their seats. Right?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Yeah, like we were like their handlers. Like we had to get their bags down
Yeah.
and like get them off the train.
Couple of funny bag stories. Like it was always, where are we going to keep our bags? How are we going to do this? We don't want to walk around with them. In Paris is when Josh and Eugenio went back to maybe the hostel to get all 4 of our bags because we didn't want to pay the 2 extra euros.
Oh. No, wasn't that at a hotel? Not a hotel, at a train station? Didn't we? I don't know why I remember them all being in a train station.
Yep. I remember that. That was in Madrid.
Yeah, and then we went front to back.
Yeah.
Right?
We stored them, and then Roxy and Ben, we didn't want to have to pay for 4 of us to go through the turnstiles to go retrieve them. So just me and Eugenio.
Thanks, guys.
People were staring at us like, what are these people doing?
Dude. In every scenario, if I can save $2 and come out with a better story, I feel like someone just paid me to do something.
Yeah.
It's great.
I forget which city it was, but I had a magic ticket that just always let me through and never took money off.
That was Paris.
That was Paris?
Yeah, because I ran out one time and you swiped yours twice. Like you handed it to me, we swiped it again.
It's going to be funny when you find that one credit card that card was linked to, Ben.
Well,
it's like $30,000 in late fees.
I think it was karma because Shelby and I ran into some major subway issues in London. Where like, yeah, I got charged like probably 50 extra bucks just from losing tickets, from like getting stuck somewhere. And yeah, so it came full circle.
Oh, man.
Which city was the most impressive to you thus far in the trip? Or exceeded your expectations?
I think that Lisbon totally exceeded my expectations because I remember thinking like ahead of time, oh, this will just be kind of a hop, before we hit the really good stuff. And I just remember thinking that it was so beautiful, and I thought that was a good way to start out the trip.
And the reason that we planned on going to Lisbon was we got to hit another country, which we all wanted to do. And our uncle had been there a couple years before and really talked it up. But what sealed the deal for me was Roxy. It was Krista's friend who told us about the Travelers Hostel in Lisbon.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
And that's like, I almost planned that part of the trip around the Traveler's house.
It was a good decision, man. It took us a second to find it. We definitely walked past it a few times. But I agree. I thought Lisbon and Amsterdam equally. Like I mean, Amsterdam, obviously I was excited for all the obvious reasons, but I could not believe how beautiful that city was. Like, just, again, if I know that Venice is just a me thing, but if people want to see canals and stuff like that, like, I always direct them to Amsterdam over anywhere else. Like, I thought it was just so cool, and like just people hanging out on boats, like just in the middle of the day, listening to music, like drinking on boats, and like.
It was also nice because Amsterdam was such like a bike and pedestrian friendly that like cars had to yield, and so that was a nice, refreshing, I think, just kind of like peaceful stop on our trip.
Very true. And also in Amsterdam with boats, we walked right by like a flower shop on a boat.
Oh yeah, it was the largest, like floating flower shop or something.
Yeah, it was like a houseboat, right?
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Smuggled some tulips back.
Yep.
No, ours didn't make it.
Nope.
I think Munich has always been on my list to go back to. I don't have, there's not a single thing that I didn't like about Munich. And I mean, the Hofbrauhaus was one of the best nights I think that I had on the trip. But like, whenever I think about it, the only thing I can do is smile. Like, whenever somebody says Munich, I just start smiling. Like, I love that city.
I will say Barcelona was also a standout for me. Like, I keep telling Joe he's never been, and I keep saying, like, if that's one of the places in Europe that we want to go, I would definitely go back to Barcelona.
I agree.
Also why I went back to Barcelona a couple months ago. All right, Josh, you.
There you go.
I was just gonna say on the piggyback on the Munich thing, like when all that food hit the table, and I'm like, oh my god, all four of us are gonna have to eat this. And then I was like, wait a second, one of us is a vegetarian. 3 of us are gonna have to eat this. Like, I'm just thinking, Rox, you better dominate that bread basket and at least put down some sauerkraut. Like, we need you.
I remember walking back to wherever we stayed, hostel or whatnot, after that Hofbräu house. And I remember the three of you looked in pain as we neared the end of the night. I was like, oh Lord, this is going to be a not good evening for you guys.
I feel like I'm still sweating from that night.
I think I was pretty pleased that we had a private bathroom off of our hotel. That was more like a hotel than a hostel, really. We had like a pretty big like space with some nice like furniture and like an in-suite bathroom and stuff.
There's a working TV and everything. There was that what was that one song? Shit. I'll follow up. There was some rock band that we heard like one of their songs in Munich and just kept on listening to it. I'll follow back on that one. I'll find it. Yeah. No, I can't remember. Ben, do you have your meeting in 3 minutes or?
I do. Yeah.
Wrap up and we'll just same time next week.
I like it.
Same bat.
Yeah.
Same bat time. Same bat channel.
I'm down. Well, thank you all for making such a huge impact on my life starting 10 years ago today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right back at you guys.
Thanks for making an impact 9 years and 360 days ago, Rocks.
Oh,
Oh, God.
We'll get there. I'll text you on Tuesday when we finally became friends.
All right. All right. We'll have a good day, good weekend. And yeah, Josh, send out the invite for next week.
All right, we'll do. See you guys.
See ya.
Bye.
All right. Bye.